3, 2, 1. Hey. Hey, good morning, guys. So today we're going to be going ahead and it's a glove. Today we're going to be going over some fiberglassing tips, what that means or what that looks like. Laying up a wing, we're going to laying up a few other pieces. So while we do that, we want to go ahead and show you how we go about the process, because I know when we started there were some things where we were confused on. We were like, how do we do certain layups, like get in the corners, or how do we capture a negative? There was a lot of how do we do this questions. So hopefully by showing you some of the basics, you'll understand a little more, and then you'll just kind of get to hang out with me and Astrid as we do this. Okay, so some things you're definitely going to want. Make sure you have scissors with you. Okay, you're going to want some scissors that you can throw away. These are going to get messed up. We're going to use these when we're doing our layup to cut, make adjustments as needed. So get yourself a pair of scissors. Definitely need a brush. So get a chip brush. Anything like this will work. 2 inches usually what we go with, but you can also go with a 3-inch, bigger wet out area. So yeah, get yourself some brushes. That you're also going to need, go ahead, get yourself a fiberglass roller, something that looks similar to this. So this is how we get all the air out afterwards. So get a roller and acetone. You want acetone. This is how you clean all of your stuff. So this is the basics of what you're going to need to pretty much do everything. That's it. Pretty simple, right? So don't be scared. Obviously you need to put your resin. So use a cup, whatever. But yeah, so you need this, your resin, your acetone to clean all of this, plus your fiberglass. Hey. The wing that we're going to be working on today is this Hito style wing. It looks exactly like this one that's over here. I'm going to show you. Wow. That was one that we had previously laid up, but this one is going to be going on a crown. Pretty cool. Hopefully by taking you along with the process, you'll be able to learn and then be a little more confident attempting your own glass work, be repair or something like this. Hey, let's go. You can get your piece of glass that's cut off right here, but we'll have our center piece that's going to overlap just enough, and that'll cover up the rest of the part. So when you cut out your pieces, it doesn't have to be all in one. If you can cut it all out in one piece, then that's great, perfect. So just make sure that everything is overlapping so you have good consistency all the way through. When you have creases like this, it's just like fabric. If you guys have done anything with clothing and you have to make cuts in the seams, or in creases, same exact concept right here. Anytime you get done with acetone, it turns into a resin bucket. So it just kind of continues its life. And then the cut for the resin bucket is just here, right across, and then back up. And there you go. Got ourselves a resin bucket. Look. Pour it this way, pour it back, backhand pour. Won't be fancy. So estimating about how much resin you're going to need. We have a very complex way about getting our measurements. So what would you say we need? How much for the wing here? Yeah, for these pieces.
Is it 2 ounces or 4 ounces?
Just the 2.
Maybe a little less than half.
A little less than half. Mm-hmm. So just under the acetone, like probably right under the acetone then.
Yeah.
Yep. See, perfect. Good measurements.
Missed.
Good measurements. And then we're going to be getting some of that. And then our filler is just our peanut butter that we make in-house. And this is just what we use before we do our layups. Work. Yes.
That's such a little board for how much we need.
Okay. So we got our mountain of filler. Going to be spread out amongst all the parts.
I mean, the filler just makes it easier to do like these bends and these corners and stuff.
Right.
If you can make your life easier, why not? I like that even if I mess up, I can just cut it up and do it again. Nothing's permanent.
That's true.
Very customizable. The lightweight of fiberglass versus something that's metal. Obviously that's an art of its own. Something I haven't mastered, but I prefer glass.
Nice. Glass or ass.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. She chooses glass every time. Catalyze everything. How do we do that?
So here we have our squeeze bottle with catalyst in here. You just squeeze up. So it's at 2.5, 5, 10, 15. Goes up. So it's really hot right now. I think I'm gonna go up to like 6-ish for the filler.
So that's 6 cc for this amount of filler, which isn't too much. If it was a colder day, what would you say? Probably like 10,
10, 12.
or so? Correct, right, okay. And then we're gonna have to offset that with the resin and catalyst, right?
Yeah, so I guess that's something that's a little bit tricky because you kind of have to time everything so that it all kicks around the same time. Temperature, humidity, a lot of things can factor into how much you're going to catalyze your fiberglass. So. First lay down your glass, you'll have a bunch of air. That's fine, that's normal. That's why we have a roller. Take your time, roll out your air bubbles. All of the air bubbles that stay will be defects on your part, so you want to make sure that you roll it out as best as you can. Again, take your time, dip your roller in the resin. You want it to be lubricated enough so that it glides right over. If it's not, then it'll start picking up the glass itself and you'll just end up having to re-roll it again anyway.
So remember guys, keep it wet.
Oh my gosh. There's our little logo. Ah. Okay, hold on. Let me take these gloves off. Triple glove.
Nice.
Forever, Moonlight Runner's part. We calculated correctly.
Heck yeah, no. And then our acetone as well. So no, great job. Awesome. Awesome. So as we said before, our very highly formulated calculations.
And also if you start fiberglassing and you don't accurately calculate how much resin or however much you're going to need, if you're going to be using the same acetone or whatever bucket you're going to be using, you could just mark, oh, this is what I used for this part, and that's kind of how I did it when I first started.
Okay, nice. Good idea. So next up is we wait for this to cure. As this starts to kicks, we'll go ahead, get a razor, and we'll trim along our flange line and just trim off all this excess because we're gonna be bonding these pieces. So like this back piece will go right here. So we'll just get rid of all that. So let's just give it like 15-20 minutes. We'll come right back. We'll trim. This is trimming your part after. All that overhang, just get rid of it. But you got to just make sure you're hanging around so you can catch it at the right time. Now that we have the parts trimmed, we're going to go ahead and get this filler mixed up. The filler is what we use to bond our parts. So as you can see, she's catalyzing it currently. Catalyzing that a lot hotter. What was that right now?
8.
Like, yeah. Okay, so 6 earlier, 8 this time. But as you can tell, we had a lot more earlier, right? So, yeah. We're going to go ahead and put that in a bag and yeah, you'll see. Okay, sorry. Now all the pieces are together. We have one piece, we have one wing now. We have our back end, we have the center, we have our supports that sit on the trunk. So everything is now glass. Our filler is bonded or helping bond everything. And also key thing and rule of thumb, something to remember is when the glass is curing, that's the perfect time when you can bond it. But if you let these pieces all completely cure, it's not tacky anymore, or you know, it's just you let it sit over a couple hours and it's cold, just regular glass pieces, you're going to have to grind, scuff your edges, and then you can bond and adhere. If you don't do that, then you're going to have a bad time, you're going to have issues. So make sure that lay up your parts. Once you trim it, it's time to bond. If you don't bond it there, you're going to do it at a different time. Make sure you're sanding or roughing up your edges. That with our bucket, there's a little bit of resin that's at the very bottom right there. Easy way to get that out. Just go ahead and break that, I guess, or push it.
All the noises.
Look at that, nice. Yep, and we get to start over. Clean bucket. Nice. Then on the inside, very nice, very nice. Don't worry about your gel coat. You want a nice thick coat when you brush it on your mold or on your part, your repair, whatever. But here it is, hand laid, fresh part.
Would y'all look at that?
All this breaks off fairly easily. This is just our filler, so break that off. We'll go around, break it, edge it, you know, and it'll be ready. We're gonna cut it up, blah, blah, blah.